How you doing? My name's Draymond Crawford with Cover One Drones. I'm here to do aerial flight over your facility. All right, thank you. So we got approval from the higher up. So we're gonna go ahead and conduct our flights. If you see the flags in this picture, that's one of my concerns for today. Weather report says it's supposed to be a high gust of 25 miles per hour. I've been watching the flag since I've been here, and it's been kind of like, I would say my best estimate would be around 10 to 15. At the most, sometimes they go completely dead, but these are little things you look for when you come out to a facility. It's not always about what the wind's doing when you leave your house. It's at the location itself. Because actually the wind was blowing a lot harder where I live at, closer to the mountains. So I was hoping that the wind would be a little less down here south of the Interstate 10. Now the facility I'm at, let me give you a picture of that. This is a facility that's run by Lineage. They are a third-party, I guess you say, worker for the Walmart franchise or corporation. So like I said, a lot of these places can be a little skittish about allowing things to happen over their facilities. Now what I'll do now, I will break out my Mavic 2 Pro to do a little scouting, because if you see over here, this is an electrical plant right here to the side of it. The power lines that come out of it, and you see the tall poles or not, look like they range about between 50 to 70 feet, and they have some high tension ones over there that might be about the same height. But I want to verify, because this flight is only going to be, I'll let this truck pass. This flight is only going to be at about 100 feet. And if you look at the building itself, it's tiered. So it might be, the building itself might be somewhere around 55 to 60 feet. So I want to make sure I check what my main obstacles are going to be, and that the flight that I'll conduct will be a safe flight, especially towards those high tension power lines, because we know the sensors don't always pick up power lines themselves. And my grid pattern that I'll be flying takes me just shy of those wires. And we'll talk about that later too. Now, if you saw the telemetry in that last clip, you saw that the high tension lines were around about 70 something feet. Highest point of the building was a little less than that. So I feel more confident that I'm not going to have any obstacle situation with the drone itself. So we brought back the Mavic 2 Pro. Now we've already have the Mavic 3E prepped and ready to go and actually carry out the type of mission I'm doing here is a smart oblique, which means that each I would say photo part of what the camera's going to do is going to take 3 to 5 shots in different angles. The main angle of the camera is going to be anywhere between 45 to 55 degrees in angle, but it's going to take 3 different shots. So we're talking about just the first pass. I got to do 2 passes. The first pass of this flight is going to be somewhere around 9,000 shots. So I'm going to be over around 1,800 and maybe 1,900 and change altogether on this project. It's going to take about 2 hours. So I wanted to make sure I brought enough batteries, because how I calculate the batteries on my flight, each battery I calculated as being only maybe 20 minutes, because people got to take into account of your takeoff time and your return to home time. So that takes up battery power depending upon how far you are when you got to hit return to home, or it will come to return to home on its own. So I give an average of 20 minutes per battery, and that means 3 batteries, 1 hour. I have 6 batteries, 2 hours, and I also brought my second Mavic 3 multi-spectrum, because the batteries in that are the same as for the Mavic 3E, so I have an extra 6 batteries just in case. And also flying in potential wind, that means you may have to use up more battery power than you anticipate. And that's why you don't want to fly to the maximum amount of your battery, but you want to give yourself cushion so you can complete the flight and not have your drone at risk. Because situations like this, you don't want to have to do the walk of shame, which in my case means I have to go back to the front office and ask permission to be escorted to go look for my drone on the property. Like I said, situations like this is not advisable to be on property, because you need distance for visual line of sight and also for connection of your of the drone itself to the controller. And that's why I flew the Mavic 2 Pro to the far side to make sure I'm able to maintain visual line of sight and connection. And that's older technology compared to what I have here in the Mavic 3E. So if the Mavic 2 Pro can do it, I know this should do it no problem. Even though this flight doesn't require RTK, I want to use it because of the type of flight that I am flying and the potential for wind gusts. So I want to make sure my drone is going to be as accurate as possible. I want to make sure that it does not get blown off its flight path. And like I try to explain to people in layman's terms what RTK really is, it's like GPS on steroids. And that's real-time kilematic.
Moving to start point. Home point updated.
Well, 19,000 plus shots, 12 batteries, 2 different drones, and I'll get to that in a second, for why we had to use 2 different drones on this project. Total of 4.5 hours. And this was a smart, what do they call it? Smart oblique, or whatever they call it. It's a type of job. But the reason why we had to use 2 controllers, because one of the Achilles heels of the Mavic Enterprise series is the Mavic Pro controller. The Mavic Pro controller can only handle basically about 3.5, 4 batteries. 4 batteries on average. So I needed to squeeze in extra 2 batteries. So I had to use a portable power bank, hook it to the controller while I was flying to be able to get those extra batteries in. And lucky for me that I have a Mavic 3E and a Mavic 3M, which the main cameras are identical. I was able to use both drones and their batteries to complete this job. So one of the little tips about when you're doing large projects like this, that, you know, even though I could have had all the batteries from both drones under one drone, is the controller was the issue. I needed to make sure the controller would be able to last. And that was my main concern. I wasn't concerned about the drone, wasn't concerned about, you know, if I had enough batteries. I knew I calculated the right amount of batteries that need to be done, need to be used, I should say. But it's the controller that's always a concern when I'm doing large projects with the Mavic 3 Enterprise series drones. My M30T with the extra WB37 battery in it, that thing will run all day long. And even the older Phantom controllers, they will run for at least a good six hours. The original smart controller, that thing would last at least an average of 5 to 6 batteries. But the Achilles heel of the Mavic Pro controller is the battery life on it. So, like I said, if you're going out and you're doing a big job that's going to take you over 4 batteries to do it with, you might need to get a power bank to attach it to, or get a long USB cable for a power bank. If you have like the DJI 1000 or anything, a Blue Yeti or whatever you may have, an Anker, whatever, to keep that controller charged up. So this is Dre, Recovery One Drones. See you guys on the next one. Bye-bye.